Well, there certainly was a lot behind the scenes in terms of how these two leaders negotiate this immense trade deal between their two nations and Mexico. But Canada's top trade negotiator gave us a preview over the weekend. Chrystia Freeland saying on Canadian television that Trudeau would tell Trump that Canada is not America's problem and that we are your biggest customer. For his part, Trump is still maintaining that he is prepared to pull out of the deal, and not just as a negotiating tactic, that he is in fact prepared to do that if he doesn't believe the deal is fair. Now, the background to all of this, both of these leaders meeting for less than 3 hours at the White House. Trudeau and his wife, Sophie Gregoire, getting a very high level and warm welcome on the White House South Lawn. While Trump and Trudeau have been friendly in public, in private, they've been expected to drive pretty hard bargains because Washington has slapped higher tariffs on Canadian aircraft and lumber, and American trade negotiators are also talking tough on dairy and wine. Canada, of course, is the #1 market for U.S. exports, accounting for more than $500 billion in bilateral trade last year. Nonetheless, Trump echoing that threat to pull out of the deal if he doesn't believe it's fair.
We have to protect our workers, and in all fairness, the Prime Minister wants to protect Canada and his people also. So we'll see what happens with NAFTA. But I've been opposed to NAFTA for a long time in terms of the fairness of NAFTA. I said we'll renegotiate.
In contrast to how Trump messaged publicly in front of Prime Minister Trudeau, we did see Prime Minister Trudeau give his pitch, as it were, to the Trump administration back at the Canadian Embassy. Here's what he had to say.
The U.S. has no bigger customer than Canada. Every year, the U.S. ships more goods to Canada than it does to China, Japan, and the UK combined. So good relations with Canada, a positive trade relationship, is something that directly benefits citizens right across the United States.
There was actual progress made in the NAFTA negotiations going into this round. Competition chapter, one of the many chapters of NAFTA, now including language on enforcing rules governing competition and including parties' ability to defend their national interests. And this latest round here in the Washington area expected now to go through Tuesday of next week in order to give everyone more time to come to more agreement. Jessica Stone, CGTN, Washington.